The world as we know it would have to end for us to get rid of synthetic
Speaking of
nitrogen.
that, on that note,
We're addicted. We're addicted to.
Currently, we're addicted.
Yeah, to it.
back to the end of the world.
Yeah.
penny will do if
Yeah,
you
well,
haven't
I
got
just
a
wanted to say
penny,
thank you
then God
guys.
bless you.
For coming by.
What?
I don't know. It's our opening jingle, maybe?
Okay.
Unless you want to play that one that we do on occasion. We have to talk about it, though.
Yeah, that's right. So,
No, but we can still talk about it.
okay, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay.
That's a song by Body Count.
Yes, for those who don't know, in order to play that song, we have to, legally, we have to have a discussion about it.
No,
So,
I would like to discuss it.
yeah,
I
well,
think it's a. What did I say last week? That it's a punk song.
Fermilab,
But I'm thinking
much
now it's
different
more of
than
a
Nikola
punk metal
Tesla.
hybrid.
it is.
No,
Like this was Ice-T's idea of metal. Like he was big into the LA metal scene, and
Right.
yeah, and that was his way of
Tesla prove?
He was into the.
trying to.
He was really into the LA metal scene.
He really was. He went to.
Metallica.
Yeah, he was in, and he was even at Sam Kinnison's special, the one where he was dissing rappers,
Okay.
and he's sitting there in the front row laughing about it. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
All
All right. Welcome to There Goes the Neighborhood. My name is Keith Gostad. I'm producing the show. Things you will hear over the next 90 minutes represent the view of There Goes the Neighborhood and the people making them, which today includes Furious One, Nick Mooner. All opinions, quotations in no way represent River West Radio and on the sole responsibility of producer, guests, and callers. River West Radio is not liable for any legal issues. Legal issues arising from the content of this program. So, I think I figured out how to work the phone. So I know who was calling last week. If you're listening, buddy, you can go ahead and call, and I will put you on.
World's Fair in 1904. I think the Colombian was Chicago.
Because I think
That sound right?
But if not, it'll be Dick and I talking
There's an
about
earlier one in New York.
Ted
where
Nichols.
he used
Ted
Niagara
Nichols.
Falls,
Well, maybe.
There is an elephant in the room.
No, he's not here yet. Oh man, he's not
That
here
was
to-
terrible.
I know he's not.
That
here-
was- that was
he's not
just-
here
that
to-
was disgraceful.
He's not here to defend himself.
Yeah.
I shouldn't tease.
500 years later, we could illuminate Niagara.
It was just there.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just there, and no matter how bad you know it's going to turn out to be, you just can't help yourself.
I am a jerk store, and they're running out of me. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got all kinds of stuff we can discuss anyway. Irregardless is not a word. Regardless of, I have to keep reminding myself of that fact that that's not a word. I don't know why.
Irregardless.
It's not a word.
We've covered methane.
It's like a swear word now.
Right, but those are all long-term
I think we're upgrading that to a cuss.
Like the release
cuss
of
word.
methane and global warming.
But it's okay. You know.
Not gonna
I
kill us
guess,
overnight. It may kill us,
No.
but it's not going to kill us overnight unless.
Oh, here he is.
It's all good.
All right.
It's gonna kill some of us overnight.
If I
We're
give
talking about
people
what
a
could kill
dollar, I
all
wonder
of
if
us
they'll get me a
overnight,
refill.
That's right.
Somebody's gonna die tonight.
Well, we're about to find out.
We're about to find out, ladies and gentlemen. This is a scientific test.
A social experiment, if you
Social
will.
experiment, perhaps. A little bit of everything going down right now.
The internet and see when did this Mayan
You know.
treachery begin?
Do 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 do. Off
He's scared off Mario.
into the wild blue yonder, flying high into the sun. Down we dive, shooting our guns like thunder. Something, something, yada da da.
Well, there's a movie called
Hey, you're-
2012.
yeah,
and it's
exactly.
like-
Live in fame and we die in flame. Nothing stops the Army Air Corps. That's our new. We're the Army Air Corps now.
Oh, okay.
Changing the show.
Yeah, Keith and his random singing.
Yep. Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Mario DePaul here. Have we done the disclaimer and all that stuff?
Everything has been done. We even had our new segment discussing Ice-T Body Count song. There Goes the Neighborhood. Did you?
Indeed.
I wonder if you had anything you wanted to contribute to that.
Yeah, it's an awesome
And turn off
song.
your damn phone.
I gotta find my phone. I don't even know. Oh, there it is.
He has 17 pockets.
Yeah. There's nobody.
Hey Jay,
What's up?
Yeah.
you want to do me a huge solid? Depends on what it is. Could you give me a refill of coffee next door?
Yeah,
wow, that's great.
Yeah, this is we're losing viewers, listeners right now.
That's fine.
I keep saying viewers.
Yeah, there's viewers on the radio.
And I've been scolding people for that online, and
Podcasting
so of course,
right
you know,
now.
yeah. Well, we do have viewers. I am literally on camera right now.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Hey, Sleepy.
So that was right for me to say.
What's going on?
How you doing?
Yeah.
Great.
Nick was going to replace us with Sleepy.
Yeah.
So we're doing a Sleepy interview segment for the moment. How you doing, Sleepy?
Doing great.
Doing great?
Yeah, I'm doing wonderful.
Okay, what kind of coffee did you get?
Just regular coffee from Fuel.
Okay.
I got it mixed with sugar and cream. A lot of sugar.
See, I don't put sugar in mine anymore. I'm afraid of, like, my tooth decay. I don't know. I'm paranoid about that.
Oh, not me.
I stain my teeth, too, with coffee and tea on
Yeah.
a regular basis. So, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is.
So, did we prepare anything for the show today?
You know,
Other than Christmas caroling. Do you know any good Christmas carols?
Nah,
No?
I don't
Okay.
sing.
No?
No. I got a bad voice.
No.
Even though you should listen to my radio show, I do sing and rap and whatever else on there.
There it is. What time is your show?
7 p.m. on Thursdays.
7 p.m. Thursday.
7 p.m. Thursday, Sleepy Show.
The Sleepy Show on riverwestradio.com.
Yeah.
All right. And who you got on your show this week? Is it a solo show, or do you bring some people in?
I bring people in,
Sweet, sweet.
and we talk about anything, everything, because that's the topic.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I thank you, sir, for stopping by. We were going to replace Nick with you, I guess. But
What?
No, I guess.
No, I was gonna replace you two with him.
Oh, darn,
Yeah.
I got it all backwards.
Yeah. Like
But
we
it's
just
all
talked
good.
about this 2 minutes ago.
Right.
But it's all good, though. Y'all here. I just came, liven y'all show up a little bit,
And I'm the one that's lit up here. I mean, why are you the one with the bad memory?
What do you mean bad memory? I remember the show was today. I got here on time.
Nah, no, you didn't.
I was here on time.
I ain't see you.
I was here on time. I started this Joker.
Oh.
All right.
Then Nick was late.
Ted,
No, I wasn't.
he wasn't. Late.
I got here before Keith did.
He did. He got here before I did.
Then
But
you was
but
late.
he hit the panic button. That was the problem.
Oh.
All right. Mario's falling asleep. We got to get him back on.
Well, it
Thank you very
was-
much, Sleepy, for stopping by.
Well, to be fair, man, you did get here at like 3:29.
Yeah, that's true enough.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah, I had a whole bunch of stuff to prepare for the show today.
Good, good.
Yes,
what you
I
got
did.
for us, man? Oh, by the way, we should do plugs first. You
I have no plugs.
You have no plugs? You should run out and buy a copy of High Art and Love Poems
Hey!
or a copy of Burdock 12.
Hey!
Both available at People's Books and Woodland Pattern. Hey! So,
So the High Art and Love Poems got reviewed numerous times in several third-tier blogging sites. And,
oh, those are
Yeah.
those
weren't blog
the
sites.
seminal editorial critiques of the horrible reviews by really stupid people. I didn't even write the book, and I was infuriated. The Asian woman who spent 35,000 words on Taoism because you included a quote by Lu Sang, some Chinese, and she spent like the first 3 paragraphs. You certainly have to get the link, and before she actually, like, at the end of the day, she said she liked the book, kinda, sorta, ish, and I've been pissed about it all day. I was supposed to stay up last night and write her a scathing comment.
You don't have to do that, man. I was totally kidding. Don't do that.
I'm clearly going to do that.
Well, like, my whole thing is I appreciate anybody who reads it. You know?
I like the book a lot, and the veiled compliments. You know what I mean? Like, why would you hide your compliments under a dissertation about the translation of some Taoist teaching that you used in one line at the very beginning of the book? But I think it was high art that probably induced
Partially that, but I'll also tell you another secret about it.
that cynicism.
If they read the biography, which I don't know that they necessarily
The biography?
The little bio thing at the back, the little biographical note that's at the back of the book. It may or may not have been included in the PDF, which is what the publisher was giving to people to review. I can't recall if he did or not. I think it's in there. It states quite clearly that I did not go to grad school, and because I do not have an MFA or a PhD, people will assume that if I quote something, that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. That's kind of one part of that. Kind of a factoid. So they feel the need to bring out their heavy guns on their level of scholarship to justify their stance on something. And if a reviewer, and I don't remember which one, if they decide that they don't like something, they will take their time and energy to
the nausea that I experienced from the academics and their not one line, not one line in the review about how the poems made them feel.
Right.
Not one single sentence other than I like emoticons. You're an idiot. No, seriously, I don't, some people might not like emoticons, but I like emoticons. And, but, I mean, it's okay, but, and then the English dude that called you an ugly American basically talks about how you bludgeoned the English language. I don't have direct quotes because I refuse to internalize the things that I said.
I like it, man. I think it's great that they got rough reviews from some kind of some just
really
random
stuffy
people.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that I don't know these people at all. I really don't. I have no idea who they are.
I am only given stereotypes and racist generalizations in order to.
That's why we have you on the show.
Right.
We needed somebody.
If we did, it would be racist.
Yeah. We needed somebody with that encyclopedic knowledge of stereotypes.
Right.
and the freedom punched race card to play them all. So. Yay!
The first time being black ever did anything for me. Other than that whole penis thing. Yeah.
Mario's talking about his penis, and we're what, 12 minutes into the show?
12 minutes into the show?
Yo, this is actually twice as long as it normally takes him, so this is actually progress.
Yeah, well, whatever. So I'm not allowed to. What's that? We had a red dot. I hope that you're still catching this transmission. I hope we're still transmitting. Are we transmitting?
I have no idea.
Oh, I hope so.
Wow.
Yep.
We're trying to get all the attention outside.
I know, right. I hope we're still transmitting a show. It might not be anything to be produced because we got red lights and a dove just shot out the computer, so it might be madness going on right now. Are we still transmitting a show?
Why don't you keep talking?
I'm talking. Nick is here as well. Why did you point at the black guy? Racism rears its ugly head again. Maybe they are right and your book sucks.
Well, you got the biggest mouth between three of us, too, so, I mean, you would naturally excel in this role.
I suppose.
I'm just saying.
But, yeah, man, I had sent a letter to one of my friends in Oakland about your reviews because I was upset. You know what I mean? I was noticeably upset by the nature of the reviews, having read the book and found the reviews had no direct correlation to the material within. There were things to dissect about the material that had that's not the things you guys should have been talking about. You know what I mean? If you were going to have any criticisms, and like to say, I'm not deluded enough because you're my friend not to have criticisms of your material. But the things that it's a good book. One is just a good book, and people that are interested in reading poetry should buy it.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
But people who are interested in dissecting poetry in order to not like it. Hey, so little hateful academic jerk face.
Hold on.
I hate everything, and
I'm gonna disagree with you. Everyone should buy the book.
I said that.
Even people that don't like it. You might not like this. You should buy it, read it, and find out.
I can't wait till my CD comes out because I want you to make that same statement about my material. Yes, sir. You are correct. Everyone should buy it.
You might not like this, but you should still buy it. See, here's the problem, though. People may not, because it's not recorded and it's just a book. They have to. They have to buy it. Whereas yours is just a CD.
But you have such. It has your stuff has such a lyrical quality.
Well,
that was a quote from one of the reviews, by the way.
Which is interesting.
Right, Keith Gaustad is like the.
I don't know what you're laughing at, man. I'm totally lyrical. No. I'm in a rap group. I've sung in bands.
Oh, okay.
Just because you're a racist bastard. I mean, we've established that, and that you can't get anywhere with any of your skills. Don't mean. As soon as you start getting reviewed by, start getting reviewed by third-tier blogs, you can be on my level.
I have been reviewed by third-tier blogs, and they all hated me, so we're equals. A fat girl on the bus stop once told me I suck, so being that she has the same readership of these magazines that you.
If it was a fat girl at a bus stop, that might have been somebody you slept with.
Just getting your sloppy seconds, sir. Just catching your sloppy seconds. She said, I know Keith, and I was like, well.
Well, your standards are low enough for me.
Indeed. If you at that batting cage, I can hit the ball too.
Man.
Amazing.
It's like a batting cage in here.
No.
These horrible jokes.
Yes.
They keep tumbling out. No, but I'm fine. I'm honestly fine with whatever people say about it because it was meant to be something that people can talk about. Either positively or negatively. I'm hoping that people can find more good things than bad to talk about regarding it. But if they
sounds like my sex life.
And Mario talks about his penis again.
Yeah, fine. He didn't say his penis.
Well, he's still involved his penis. I mean,
but since he is a black guy, we have to assume he's terrible at cunnilingus.
No, I am quite a cunning linguist. Why you playing?
See, now who's got racial stereotypes?
Yeah.
Anyway. No, but that's fine. Again, I think it's really great, and thank you for reading them first. Because what I did is my publisher sent me the reviews, the links to the reviews, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to read these right now. And then Mario happened to be online, so I sent them to Mario, and he was looking at them and chatting with me and quoting things angrily, which oddly enough did not perturb me. It actually intrigued me a little bit. I was like, really? He's really upset by this. These must be scathing. And I was kind of hoping for some scathing reviews, and I got them, and they were kind of mediocre to bad, or the one was like, I think it was something like, I don't get it. Maybe somebody with a more scholarly mind would like this book, which I think should be on the back cover of the second printing.
Somebody with a more scholarly mind would get this book. I don't even know what he was talking. He was something English.
That should be the title of your next book. Someone with a more scholarly mind will get this book.
That's far too long.
Yeah, I guess.
But here's the good thing.
That is too wordy.
It is a little wordy, but I'll say this. The best thing about calling your book High Art and Love Poems is that when people say they don't like it, it goes like this. I don't care for high art and love poems.
Oh!
See what I mean? And then other people, I really like high art and love poems. And it's like,
high art ampersand love poems. Like exactly what it is.
It's and. Are you going to start coming down on Guns N' Roses for having to end with the two things around? I mean, come on. Don't be so picky.
Okay, but no, man. I honestly, I didn't buy the book, but I enjoyed the book.
Yes, he did not. I want everyone to know. Mario did not buy the book. He borrowed it from somebody, apparently.
And read it.
Hasn't quoted me anything from it yet.
No, I haven't.
Which makes me believe that he probably didn't do that.
No, I did.
But we say this. Nobody buys any of Mario stuff either. So.
That is clearly not true. But like, come
on, I know he sold like a chat book like the other day at Linneman's.
Yeah, he did. Sold
a chat book.
Chat book.
But no, I am. Most of the things that I know about the art of writing chapbooks, and Keith will be editing this next volume that I will be presenting for publication. And I've learned a lot in the time that I've wrote, and a lot of the things I've learned were from Keith and Jennifer Kraft about the mythology. I have not been classically trained in this writing style. You know, I look for emotional effectiveness, and it just is troubling to me, especially as a spoken word poet, that you have a reviewer review a book of poetry and never once talk about emotional effectiveness. But then I read other reviews from the English guy of girl books with clearly feminine names, and he goes into long oratories about she's the beauty, and he's all these flowery adjectives to describe. And I was like, yeah, he figured he's not gonna get any from Keith. but little does he know. No.
Little does he know. I mean, it could be. You don't know. You can't judge a man, but you can't judge a book by its cover.
Ampersand.
Mario does, apparently. Ampersand.
I'm gonna change the end poem to ampersand. Ampersand. Okay.
See, I think you kind of getting stuck on something here a little bit. I don't know. It's good, not good for you. No. I told you last night or Monday night, competitive poetry is bad for your soul.
Whatever.
The ampersand wouldn't go over with the judges. Is that what you're saying? Oh darn! I'm so sorry, guys. I really hope my emotionality would come across with the ampersand.
And I got a lisp at the end. That was great. What? I don't know, man. But we have fun.
Right,
so.
right. You know, and
it was, and I don't really take these people seriously, because until you sent me their reviews, I had never. And I am on the internet searching for poetry constantly, and these publications were beyond my realm. But again, I don't delve into the academic world, and it doesn't correlate to me to being a good book.
It wasn't necessarily an academic world that I know of. It was these are actually two different journals that are online that have they put out reviews as well as publish people's poetry, and I think there's prose in there. Because after I read the reviews, I went and cruised the website a little bit.
I did too.
And I just wanted to see what was going on there. I think we have a call coming in.
Ted Nichols.
Let's see if we can get the phone up. Hello?
Hello, how's it going?
Who is this?
Is this Ted Nichols?
This is John.
Who is Don?
Don Johnson.
Don Johnson?
Yeah, from Miami Vice.
From Miami Vice? That's fantastic. So, we wanted to ask you, what did you think about the job that was done in the remake of Miami Vice?
I have no idea who this is, by the way.
I think it was Colin Farrell. Did you approve of his portrayal of that character?
No.
No?
That movie sucked.
All right. Thank you very much, Don.
Ted Nichols.
We're going to be moving on from that. But thank you for calling in, Don. Have a good day.
Damn, that's it.
Yep.
Peace out.
Bye, Sleepy.
And Ted Nichols called in once again. Ridiculous.
So anyhow, Don Johnson aside.
Johnson aside.
Actually, that was a Don Johnson aside. Oh dear.
Yes, it was.
Maybe
this is a side of Johnson.
Between the two of us, I can understand why people would give us terrible reviews. Terrible, scathing reviews.
I want some scathing reviews for this show.
Yes.
Well, what kind of reviews do you want for this show? I mean, besides scathing. I mean, you don't want people.
I hear that the fat white crackhead named Danny hates the show.
But oddly enough, Ted Nichols loves it.
Oddly enough.
We need to get fat white crackhead Danny on the show one time.
We're gonna get him on the show. Don't you worry.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna get him on the show. I think we can get him on the show next.
We are turning to the Midwest Howard Stern. You realize this, right?
No. We don't have any women on the show that are naked.
I'm the only person on the show with breasts. That's why we know it's not Stern.
Man.
That's sad.
Yeah, this is
That just made me sad on the inside.
I think you just brought the show to a screeching halt right there.
Nothing like moves to bring the shit up.
Boy, Cracky, you sure did. Oh my goodness. Is Ted Nichols calling you?
No, that was the house phone.
No, that was Ted Nichols.
That's Ted again.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, who is this?
This is Scuba Dive Steve.
Scuba Dive Steve.
Yeah,
Come on, Ted Nichols.
I dive in real hard.
Hold on one second.
What is it? Talking to me?
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you were listening. Go ahead, Ted. Finish what you were saying, Mr. Nichols. We're talking about
Aside of Johnson.
We're talking about a fat white crackhead named Danny, and you not calling in anymore. Get off of my phone.
You been going through your stuff?
Been going through whose stuff? You been going through your junk?
You
Is
left
that
the
what
bag sitting out.
So
All right,
listen,
guys, you have a nice day.
you too,
Take
School
care,
Steve.
buddy.
All right.
Okay, bro.
See you,
All right,
Ted.
brother. All right, brother. All right.
Down. There goes the show structure.
So yeah, we're not answering the phone anymore. But yeah, Ted's calling, trying to interrupt the.
Well, by and large, you realize most of the people that know the number to this place are the other producers.
pretty much.
So you can kind of narrow down the suspects. Who's Ted Nichols? And I bet you he sleeps with a fat white crackhead named Danny.
And Aside of Johnson.
All right.
Those are going to be the T-shirts. A fat white crackhead named Danny is going to be the T-shirts.
Hey, is that a fat white crackhead named Danny? There goes the neighborhood.
Indeed. So if you're just tuning in, if this is your first podcast, that sounds completely ridiculous because it is.
Talk about podcasts on the podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right.
First rule of podcast.
Do not talk about podcasts.
Indeed.
This comes again. One more time. Let's see what we got here. Hello?
Hello.
Who is this, please?
It's Ted Nichols.
This is Nicole.
Oh, jeez.
What's your topic?
We had a topic going. We picked up the call out of courteosity, if you will.
It was mighty white of you to keep answering the phone after we already decided you wouldn't answer the phone.
Yeah, we're gonna have to stop now. Oh, sir, thank you for calling in. Do you have a pledge for us? We're taking pledges right now.
Well, he was saying something. Go ahead.
Can I get you free feedback on your topic?
Shoot.
What was your topic? That's what I asked.
We didn't. It's kind of a free form show that you're ruining now. Get off the phone. Thanks. Sorry about that. I needed to get that out.
That just happened.
Stop calling in. We don't want to talk to you. No one actually wants to talk to you, and that's why you keep calling in.
You got your own show, asshat. You can do this at Thursdays on 7. We plugged your show. Come on, son.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh.
Don't answer the phone.
No.
Yes. Hit the drop button again.
Yeah. Right. So anyway.
Sorry, bud. No.
999.
Ted Nichols could eat a crusty ass penis.
A crusty ass penis, as opposed to what kind of? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
It's all falling apart. It's all falling apart.
Crusty ass penis. That's even better. What do you mean it's falling apart?
I don't know. The show is. It takes 3 calls to just bring the show to a screeching halt.
Nah, the show was at a screeching halt when it started. This thing is still in space dock. This thing is still in space dock.
So last week we accredited it as our 10th podcast. This is actually our 10th podcast.
Oh, okay.
So
No, last week was our 9th and a half.
Where's the half come from?
Because we do a half hour now.
Oh.
I don't know. Anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not good at
First
math.
rule of podcasting, Mario.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Jeez. So I just wanted to make sure that we clarified that was not the 10th podcast for people that are following the stream. And I finally found us on, I'm not supposed to, but iTunes, so you can find us. You can get us on iTunes, subscribe, and all that
You
stuff.
can put it up on the Facebook link. So the 7 people that like the show.
And 3 of them don't actually like the show. They just listen. Relatives.
These are those reviewers from those blogs that we were talking about. I'm only listening to this show because I don't like it. And I want to know when they mess up. So that I can write a review that's scathing.
Right.
Yeah.
The show is sub-sophomoric and in poor taste.
Ooh.
Your mother's trying not to curse.
Sub-sophomore. Wait, did you say
Sub-sophomoric.
Is that like a freshman in summer school?
Oh! There's sound clips and stuff.
Something ought to happen. The phone is ringing. This is chaos. This is like working for a major news corporation. That's our foreign correspondent on the phone.
Calling in from Bangladesh.
Romania.
Reince Priebus. Reince Priebus.
Wait, actually, we're supposed to get a call from Reince Priebus.
Are we? What is he doing?
I think if he calls in later, I'll answer.
Okay.
So anyway.
Ring.
No, that's not gonna work this time. Mario Lemieux.
Oh wow, that's great.
So.
But this is
more like Mario Le Pew.
So
cousin to Pepe.
No news on the Kevin Clash front.
Oh, stop! This is not the Elmo show.
I did.
Okay,
I'm doing my weekly report. There is nothing further to report on the Kevin Clash front. I did a bit of investigations last night before the show.
Good. Good. Very good. Yes.
I'm trying to think of anything else that I wanted to talk about.
We're supposed to get a blizzard tonight.
Oh yeah, 10,000 feet of snow.
Yeah, I'm sick of this. Like, it's gonna be like 3 inches of snow, and that's really nothing.
And all the stuff we got yesterday is already gone.
Yeah, I mean, it stays on the grass.
That is the best joke you guys just let get past you about the 10 inches that's gonna actually be 3 that y'all let get past.
Yeah.
So I knew all about it. I want to say something before you did it.
Oh yeah, I got it. So this blizzard is actually named Mario. We're starting to name blizzards now.
Yes.
That was the Mario of 2012. Anyway, so it's not going to be that big.
I was hoping Nick was going to do it so I could go into the joke from last week because he got me, but then you did it. So Nick has one time to get me. I said,
one time?
Wait, one time?
I think he owes you more than that. There's a lot of
You started it!
I did not start it. You told that joke. That was terrible. I was just doing a song. I was just riffing, man. Trying to blame me on this stuff. What are you doing? Wait, that was Reince Priebus. You just hung up on the RNC chairman.
Good. Yeah, but so it's supposed to be 10 inches of the white stuff, not cocaine.
Yeah, but not 12 inches of snow. That's an album, which is like got Informer on it.
and a white guy with a with the worst patois ever.
What are you talking about? Patois?
That's supposed to be patois?
It was. A licky boom boom down.
Patois.
Yeah,
that's the worst pate ever.
Are you making fun of his patois?
His patchouli. It's the worst patchouli ever.
It is drug rug with his patchouli. No, but yes.
I pack it a bong and smoke it up and down.
Snow was the.
My patois ain't bad.
It was kind of catchy, though. The Informer was kind of catchy.
Patois.
His patois was a bit good.
Wait, did you say buttois? What's happening?
A tweed buttois.
They're going off the rails.
But no, the Informer was kind of catchy. There was the rest of the album, though. It was.
I don't know the rest of the album.
Who knows anything on the rest of the album?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody bought that album.
Nah.
I don't know.
And then he go to like prison and everything. Like he really worked on his cred. Like
I don't know. He was already in prison because of an Informer. I thought that was what I gathered from the song.
Boom boom down. That particular guy. I didn't know that.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. It sounds really homosexual. Whatever it is, it sounds
boom boom.
Right.
That there's two. There's 2 booms.
And he licky.
And he licky the booms.
He licky the booms.
Wait, I think that means.
I have no idea.
I don't know what that means.
You're damn right.
Oh!
We know
what Tammy licky boom booms down.
Indeed.
Hey, actually, Herb Cole just gave his speech, his final speech a week ago or something.
Okay.
Like that.
And what was he saying?
Tammy's going to get sworn. Well, Herb Cole is like one of the last, I think, Democratic senators that I know of that had no problem reaching across the aisle, like for real, like actually, you know, engaging the other side.
The other rich people.
Because he was a businessman, and I think but he still was like of a democratic mindset. So he had no problem, like he could relate, I think, better to the other rich white businessmen that were in the Senate. And I don't know.
They said Tammy gonna be on the financial committee.
I don't know what that means for us. I think there are gonna be some pennies.
that means that dildos will be at an all-time low, like that.
All-time high.
Hey.
All-time licky boom boom down.
You're damn right.
Yeah, I know, Tammy. But I don't even know what that means at this point. But so yeah, that old thing happened.
A Tammy Baldwin down.
She go down.
Whoa.
And lickety boom boom. But
can I just say something that's really been irritating me since last Friday?
Since Friday. Okay.
Since Friday.
Not since the last show, because that was going to be bad.
No.
Something's making Nick mad. That never happened.
Welcome back. All right, everybody else's mic is off. Ready, Nick? Go.
What? Okay. Well, okay, I had no idea what he's... Okay, but anyway.
This is the Nick Furious segment.
Yes. Go. So, this tragedy happens, and... Not even by that afternoon, people are already talking about guns. Gun control this. More guns that. America this. America.
Right.
You know, and it's I'm really disappointed. This is one of the most disappointed moments I've had just in this country. You know,
really?
Okay, gun control is the last thing we should be talking about right now.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter what you do with guns. Okay, people are gonna get them. Okay, pot is illegal. I mean, and I come in here, you know, every week with a big
Illegality
lunch.
does not affect availability.
Exactly. And
if you prohibit assault rifles, only the criminals will have them. Listen, I don't have a problem with that debate about gun control. Let's get the little babies' bodies in the ground before we start the argument. It just seems like, isn't this how we got in the Iraq War? Isn't this like, let's everybody calm down. I'm not going to make any decisions right today. We're not going to pass any laws today. Need everybody to calm down. Let a couple days go past. But you're trying to milk the emotion. So everything the left says about the right, they go and do, which makes them hypocrites. You know what I mean? So I don't really pay it any attention. I agree that I agree about the assault weapons position. That that these multiple hundreds of rounds are necessary, except for the fact that the criminals have them. So if we don't need semi-automatic weapons, why does every major city have a special weapons and tactics division if the bad guys ain't got them? And if you make them illegal, the bad guys ain't turning them in. So you telling me if I'm a business owner in the Fifth Ward in New Orleans where they shooting and killing every day, and I'm going back and forth to my store with large amounts of cash, that I'm not supposed to be able to defend myself because the police can't save you? You know?
That's right.
Statistically speaking, the home stuff comes into question. But go ahead.
Well, I was going to strongly disagree with you. Just based on this. Look, the guns that were used in this case were purchased legally by the mother.
9mm Glock, Sam Sauer, and a Buckmaster rifle.
Did not look, the one that he used did not look like anything a person needs.
I'm
just saying that, period. I don't care if you're criminal or not. It didn't look like a kind of gun that you need to have. I got to have this thing that looks like something that one of my G.I. Joes came with when I was a kid.
Okay.
That's just BS, right?
All right.
And then
you're saying to me there are not places in the United States of America where heavy artillery is not necessary?
I'm saying nobody needs it, man. I'm saying if you die by a bullet, then you were killed by a coward.
This is the conversation I didn't want to have, by the way.
Strictly that.
Okay, so I'm saying to you,
started it.
If you live,
because you put me on the spot.
If you live
I was trying to segue into what I think the real problem is.
If you live in urban, and there are urban areas.
What do you mean by urban?
I mean the city.
Okay.
There are cityscapes where the criminals
Yeah.
have heavy artillery. If you live in Detroit, Michigan, if you live in certain sections of our city, the criminals have AK-47s and heavy artillery assault rifles. So I don't think, yeah, you're right. The middle America, in Connecticut somewhere, is there a reason for you to have this weapon? No, probably not. But there are places where you need this kind of in order to respond. And if that's not true, then why are there special weapons and tactics divisions in every major city?
Because of fear.
Yeah,
Everyone's
well, because-
afraid. Everyone's afraid of guns all the time, man. Everyone's afraid. And if you keep perpetuating these fears, then everyone's gonna need
I'm not
it.
saying we need rocket launchers. And again, I will agree with the assault weapons ban, though. And as a compromise, I will agree that there's no reason that these heavy artillery should be on the streets. But are we gonna take away rifles because this is what they do? Because you already can't have fully automatic assault weapons, right? But what they do is they sell semi-automatic weapons.
Yeah.
At the gun shows, and then right next to the semi-automatic weapon, they sell a kit to make it fully automatic.
But I mean, people are buying those things. The reason that this woman had these things is because she was afraid of what was going to happen to the economy. Okay, that's the logic that I understand happened. She was afraid of everything that was going to happen, and the doomsday scenario was very fresh on her mind, and she had that stuff in the house. Little did she realize that the doomsday scenario was her son. Okay, that's it.
I don't know. Again, I'll say this. There was something clearly going on wrong in that home. Whatever it was.
Well, I mean,
and she just might have been a gun enthusiast that happened to own the weapon. Because she's dead, there's no way to ask her why. So we're just extrapolating, Susan's supposition to say why she bought it. She might have just liked guns.
Yeah.
Because her kids, we know full well from the people around them that their kids liked the military and liked tanks and stuff. And she might have just thought it was a cool gun to have.
Nothing wrong with liking that, right?
Right.
Nothing
No.
wrong with liking killing people and murdering people just at will.
The American way.
It's the American way. I mean, nothing wrong with that, right?
This is exactly my point.
Let's not pretend like America don't kill people.
The whole gun control debate is being pushed right now because it's making people divisive. It's making people belligerent with each other. It's making people afraid of each other.
I'm not afraid of anybody, man. I'm
agree.
telling you,
No,
if somebody kills me with a gun, then they're a coward. They couldn't fight me like a man. That's the story.
We have already agreed that the assault weapons need to be stopped. We've already agreed on that. And what we were just having a discussion about in my mind, I don't know where Keith was at, was why she had it. But we agree that there's no need for that. But there's no need for people to have assault weapons.
That was an interview with her ex-husband, who did not live with the family anymore. Now, he was well off, sending them some pretty large sums of money, as I understand it. This could all be wrong, of course. It's based on the news. But the way it was understood is that there was a divorced family, and he did not live with the wife and the kids, and he sent them money. And in statements from the family that survived it, they basically said that the reason that she had these kinds of weapons was fear of what was coming. Apocalyptic scenarios, yada, yada, yada.
That's what her ex-husband said?
That, and I think sister family stuff. I don't know. It was all out there. I can't quote my sources. I'm not an academic. Okay?
Check my reviews.
Yeah.
But seriously.
Read my reviews. You'll know nothing I say has legitimacy.
Okay, so even if we suppose that to be true, even the causation behind her buying the weapons aside, we don't need those weapons on the street.
Yeah.
And they should be seizing those weapons, those high caliber, semi to fully automatic. Well, we don't. Fully automatic weapons are not.
I mean, if you're hunting, fine. Whatever. You need a handgun because you don't have a penis, or your penis is small. That's fine. Whatever. I don't.
You don't live in a world where people see that, and it's what's different is you don't live in a world where people where 4 or 5 people run in your home and try to kill you. Home invasions.
And I make an effort to not live in that kind of a world.
But it's not. But because you make an effort, it's still people don't have a right to defend themselves that live in areas.
You have a right to defend yourself. Go ahead and defend yourself, man.
All right. But I'm just saying.
Ahead.
But
I'm not saying you don't have a right to defend yourself. I'm saying that if you need to defend yourself, I'm talking about the people that that are doing it to you. Those aren't real people, man.
But they're not buying those guns legally, is what I'm saying. So you just taking it. That's my point. Is you just taking the ability to defend yourself against those people away.
You can do whatever you got to do, man, to defend yourself. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying where I'm at personally, okay? And as far as I'm concerned, man, I don't need that stuff. And if you're a real person, you don't need that stuff. That's it.
What does that mean? If you're a real person, you don't need that stuff.
If you're a real person, you don't need it.
I guess. I suppose. I don't know.
I'm talking
define what a real person is.
I'm talking to the criminal element right now, man.
Okay, but I'm saying define what a real person is. I'm saying if
someone who's not out there killing people at will.
No.
Yeah, that's a real human being. You know, if you're a real human being, you don't need that stuff, man. You know?
But
I'm not talking to the homeowners now. You're paranoid, I understand. You're afraid. Anything could happen. You could die right now. Somebody's going to run in your home with a gun, and they're going to blow your brains out and rape your babies. It's all going to happen. Everything, the worst things ever are always going to happen. And guess what? You don't have to leave your house anymore. So, you know, live in fear your whole life. Just die tomorrow. Shut up. I don't care anymore. Just shut up and die. I don't care. Just everyone go away. Doesn't matter. The whole point is everyone's going to shoot somebody at some point.
You will never live in an America where there won't be guns.
Yeah, that's why I don't live in America where there won't be guns.
Yeah. Like you'll never live in that country.
I'll never live in that country. I'm resigned to that fact. But I'm just saying, like, I don't need that stuff, and so I'm sick of the debate. You know.
What we will do is we'll agree about the assault weapons and not have the remainder of the discussion because we're looking at it from two different, and we'll never agree.
Yeah, no, I mean, you live in a
point.
cowboy world. In the middle of the inner city, and I understand it. It's like a bunch of cowboys running around, only they don't have cows anymore. They have Cadillacs and drugs that they're trying to sell, and that's really important.
That's not true.
And it's perpetuated.
I don't want to live in. I don't want to live in a world.
And the stereotypes
if you live in a world that the police are the only ones that have guns, it will change the dichotomy of the world.
I'm just not in favor of guns in general. You know,
okay.
Like on a philosophical level, but I understand that people have them. I'm not immature and stupid. I know that everyone's got them. I'm just saying that everyone sucks.
Well, there's that. Again, we find another point in which we can agree. So let's because it doesn't behoove us to find the points where we're going to argue about, even for this radio program, because it just becomes nonsensical. But like, what we can agree on is that the assault weapons need to stop, and that everybody sucks.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if you need a high capacity round and or a high capacity clip or whatever, you know, like, do you need that? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't agree. I don't think there's no reason for 450 shots.
Unless you really, but unless you really subscribe to the doomsday scenario stuff. That's what that was all about. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man.
You said for that particular woman.
For that particular woman, she really believed that The Road with Viggo Mortensen, you know, that movie, was gonna happen tomorrow as soon as the fiscal cliff thing happened. That we were all gonna go to hell. No, what's gonna happen is like people's taxes are gonna go up and whatever. It's not gonna be a big deal. I mean, it's gonna be a big deal for some people. They're gonna make a big deal of it. They're gonna cry and whine and whatever else. It's like, look, elect smarter representatives. Maybe this will, like, you know, help you think about that stuff next time, so you won't elect a Tea Party candidate. Okay? Maybe you'll elect somebody with some maturity and some class and some dignity to the office. There you go.
But so my point was that there are people that live in neighborhoods, Keith, where the criminals in your neighborhood are armed with heavy
You mean
artillery.
like the east side of Milwaukee? That's
Indeed.
where I live. I mean, I live in the city. Just because I live nearer the campus where the police presence is a little bit higher, because that's where the money is coming into the city, is through college campuses now, and through, like, you know, places where the service industry is thriving, because people don't, you know, buy their own food and keep it in their house anymore. So they're going to be around there. They're going to be watching. And you know what? As much as I don't like some of the things that the police do, I understand their function in society, and I don't behoove them having guns. Okay? I don't.
So you say the police shouldn't even have guns? No one should have guns.
The police should have intelligence, first of all, you know, and class and dignity. These are important qualities.
Exactly, and we not have police with those qualities in Milwaukee.
No. We do some of them.
No, that's
You can't paint with a broad brush on this, dude. Yeah, I mean, to be perfectly honest, man,
there are good cops, but there are a lot of, I think.
Institutionally, though,
dude, when I was
that's a really hard one. That's a hard one. I wanted to make a statement, but I wasn't sure about it.
For that whole thing, we got to have the other Nick in here, Nick Kovacs, Nick versus Nick conversation.
Right. You know? No, but I think there are some bad. I think there are some cowboy cops on the force.
Oh yeah,
that don't want to behave professionally.
When they did that switch over, here's two stories real quick. Like, okay. Never been more happy to see a cop in my life than the night that the Miramar got shot up. When they came in, I was like, thank God the cops are here. You know, that was a relief to me. Even though they were carrying assault weapons. The first ones that arrived on the scene, they didn't know if the active shooter was there or not. So when the place was getting shot up and we were all like scattered around, picking ourselves up off the ground because we were dodging. And when the cops showed up, it was like, well, this is great. I'm opening the doors for this person in a uniform with a badge who has a gun. I don't care. I'm not scared of them. I am relieved that they are here because I understand the capacity in which they are appearing. Okay. Granted, I know that sometimes that is not what their capacity is in different neighborhoods, at least to some people. But we've watched some YouTube videos together, Mario, where you understand like the people that live in those neighborhoods aren't exactly the friends of the police. Okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah. You know, that's just
and that's the same thing
if
you go in Waco, Texas, and
you go anywhere in the world. There are people out there that are not friendly to the cops, and that's the difference.
Being a police officer is a really, really hard job.
It's a really hard job, you know, and so I understand it. On the other hand, I was there on a open mic night where we had a regular guy who was kind of a, I don't know, he wasn't homeless, but he had some mental problems, and he would just come in and everything, and he was sitting outside. He panhandles, and it's sometimes
a little too aggressive.
Sometimes a little too aggressive. The first thing that happened when they switched the districts and they made the line the river now. The district
I didn't know that.
The District 5 is now only west of the river, and District 1 downtown now covers UWM. When that switch happened, the cops that handled this guy, their response was to put him on the ground and cuff him violently, aggressively. And I was looking on, and the other person was looking on. We were just like, we can't stop this from happening. I mean, I'm not going to get in the face of this guy. And this cop, by the way, he, besides having a gun and a baton and pepper spray and all that stuff, also had a sleeve tattoo sticking out of his short-sleeved shirt. And I'm like, that's the kind of metalhead you don't want to mess with. Not only has this guy got like dragon sleeve tat going down, he's like, a pretty rough customer. And it was the thing, it was just after the switch had happened, so it's like, I don't know if the guy was like asserting his presence, like this is my neighborhood now kind of thing. And again, if somebody's doing that, you don't want to get in their face, regardless of whether they're a cop, because people are crazy like that, you never know. But my point is like those two different types of police exist. There's the police that are there to solve problems, to serve you and protect the citizens, and there are the ones that are there to get a little rough on the homeless guy once in a while, and that's the sad thing. But that's the two different sides.
No, but I mean, and I understand the psyche well enough to know that the police deal with so much bull all day, every day, that it's easy to slip into negative behaviors. Because people constantly gaming you, people constantly bull, and you don't believe nothing nobody say after a while. Go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we've all done security at the Miramar before. We dealt with these these kids who are just on all types of drugs I won't even touch. And I've never gotten to a point where I really where I seriously want to do some of the stuff that you hear about these cops doing. And it's.
I'm a security. I was a security. I wasn't a police officer. But what I'll say this is, you still have to maintain your professionalism. And once you start taking stuff personally, then anything can happen.
It becomes a different story, though, I suppose.
And I'm not a enemy. I don't personally, Mario Shmari, I don't have a problem with the police when they doing their job. It's when you get to the point where you're not doing your job, you're enacting justice on the street. That's not your job. Your job is to subdue the suspect, and and once like the girl that the cop beat up in the back of the cruiser, who was already in handcuffs. There is nothing she can do in those handcuffs, even short of kicking out the window. Which that you should be roughing her up, or have any reason to be snatching and grabbing on her. Just take her to the jail and drop her off. She can cuss, scream, holler. Your job is to ignore that.
I mean, it's tough, man. That's the thing. Like,
but I just want to point out one thing real quick. That when these kids, a lot of them, when I was working there in the time, I got swung on, I got sweared at, I got spit at, I got all times, all types of antagonistic behavior, coming direct, and I don't understand, like, if you're a cop and the guy doesn't have a weapon, what are you doing all this stuff to? Why do we hear about so many cops going after people who don't even have weapons on them? I mean, and that's why I say.
I think a lot of times,
and that's why I'm saying the culture, institutionally, the culture of the police has changed over the past, 20, 30 years.
You know what you need to get us? You know what you need to get us? You need to get us a sound clip of that cop going, "Stop resisting! Stop resisting!" and punching people in the head.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like that used to be like an honor thing with police officers. You don't kill somebody who doesn't have a weapon. Yeah, you hear about that all the time now.
We were talking about Malele Kaz, the woman, had posted on her wall a quote from Serpico and about honest cops and what happened to the honor of wearing that shield and being a cop. And every time you put a little tarnish on the shield by negative behaviors, by doing these things, you make all cops look bad.
Right.
And where it's unnecessary. Just do your job, man. You're not proving nothing. But, hey, man, I have friends that say it, and sometimes it seems that way to me even, is that the police are just a gang, just like every other gang on the streets, trying to get their cred and be hard and be viewed a certain way. And, hey, man, just protect the serve.
Well, I mean, they have to have that mentality to some degree. I mean, they believe they do. I mean, I don't know that I believe that they should have that mentality, that gang mentality, but there's the brotherhood thing that they have.
And that's the other thing, it prevents cops who would otherwise be good people from speaking up against other officers and the things they see, because they're seeing this. I mean, there's no way this is going off in a corner. No, somebody knows. Yeah. Somebody has been knowing about these things for years.
But the system protects him. Like the cop that punched the girl.
Right.
He got suspended. He kept his job.
That's what I'm saying.
And I wrote my alder person and told her, I don't want somebody that thinks that's okay wearing a badge. I don't care if it's the first time, the 5th time. I understand that it's a stressful job and people make mistakes in certain things, but if you got a subdued suspect in the back of your cruiser in handcuffs and you go and punch them, I don't want you wearing a badge. You don't handle that authority well.
Yeah.
Period.
Right.
There's no reason to be punching something. It's like me as a security guard. We used to have the attitude, and Bill even had the attitude. If I get you out the door and I'm following you outside, I should stay outside with you, because that's not your job. If he's out, he's out.
Right.
Leave it alone. It's nothing personal. He's just a goofball, and he's having an episode. You're out. You're gone. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't care. If you want to stand across the street and go,
it's like, you look silly. I mean, that's what
That guy doesn't say English.
Right.
Why is he barking at us?
Right. But it never made any sense to me.
Who knows?
But I mean, but the thing I wanted to really bring up about,
how you gonna get mad? You can't even get in the club. Okay, sorry. Chris Brown, sorry.
But as soon as I heard there was another school shooting, and I'm just like, yeah, of course, it's another, idyllic, lily white, middle class suburb. But nobody wants to talk about that aspect. People want to go, oh, it's because of guns, as if guns are the only reason why something bad can happen in a white middle class neighborhood. No, we don't want to question that lifestyle. I don't think you should be able to put
up that body count. Like, that was my whole problem. Like, you can't stop crazy. Because if crazy can get a butter knife, and go stab people in their face, if that's what crazy want to do. But there's no reason why one dude should be able to put up 20, 30, put up them numbers.
That guy in China did it, though, with a knife. I mean...
I mean, he did this, the same
exact same
scenario,
day.
But didn't he get didn't he have himself cornered in the room with the kids to kill him? Like the response time. Well,
either way, I mean, the point is, it still happened with a knife.
But the response time, what I'm saying, like the police, if from the time that you call the police in China till they get there, it's different.
Well, also, he probably knew kung fu.
What? I'm just kidding. So racist.
I gotta diffuse this.
He probably did.
I gotta diffuse this thing somehow, because we're going into serious. Those children, their kung fu is weak. I'm sorry, I'm going to hell for that.
That was too far.
Yeah.
That was too far. But
no, the point is, man, there was no security at that school, right? And that guy knew that.
The elementary school guy or the Chinese guy?
No, Sandy Hook. I don't know anything about the Chinese guy other than the body count thing. But the guy at Sandy Hook, he had been plotting that for some time, apparently. It wasn't just like out of the blue thing for him. I mean, it was out of the blue for everyone else, but it wasn't something that he just thought of that day. It was, you know, it was cold-blooded, calculated slaughter with the full intention of killing as many people as possible. That's why that body count was there too, you know, not just the fact that he had the ability. The police response time was actually really good. If you, you know, read up on it, the first cops that got there, that guy was still, they saw him cross a room.
5 to 10 minutes before they made it there?
Something like that.
From the time the shooting started until they
but
got
I mean,
to
that guy had to bust through he had to bust through the office too, because that was a locked door. That's why so many adults were killed, is because you had to go through the office of that building to get through. So, you know, he was taking out the principal and all those folks.
There were a lot of heroes in that.
There was a lot of heroes in that one. So, like, you know, when he got there, it was, you know, and like you said, if he didn't have that automatic converted, I'm assuming, I mean, I don't know for sure, but they said they heard a volley. And I'm like, you don't fire a semi-automatic gun and have it be a volley. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's my point though. Is why is it so many people from this background, this middle class suburban background? Why are they all the ones who end up doing this?
Because they can afford those guns.
Well, I'm saying rhetorically, but I mean, I really think those are the questions we need to start asking.
Everybody's special,
right? Yeah, exactly, and that's my point. Like
and they don't, and they kids aren't afraid of anything. They don't have an inherent fear of anything. You know, Gousted and myself grew up in a background where you might get punched in your face.
Well, I mean,
like you,
and I didn't.
No, I'm not, but no, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We haven't ever talked about it, but like I know for certain, like there's a certain amount of fear and respect you have based on that fear, and a lot of these kids grow up with absolutely no fear or nothing. There's no consequences to anything that they do. You know what I mean? So they might get a firm talking to or something taken away, and you know, it's nothing like
well, I think that's one element.
A deep elbow drop to make you go, you know, I'm not gonna do that.
I'm gonna contemplate the consequences of my actions before I commit to them.
You know, I definitely think there's that element to it. I think another element is just how readily people will put their kids on psychotropic drugs in these communities.
Yeah.
As a replacement of parenting, man.
Exactly.
There you go.
I don't want to chastise my child. I'll drug them up.
Exactly.
And then when my kids end up on meth, I'm like, I don't know how this happened.
Well, and then they're like, the whole thing is, I don't want my child to hate me. Your child hates you already.
Right.
Your child hates you. You brought them into this world, and it's messed up.
Right.
I can't imagine a kid not having
and then you raise them in this artificial, alienating environment that's set up to, you know, for people to, you know, be like that. I mean,
because parent and friend are not synonymous. I am your dad. I'm not your friend.
Yeah.
When you get 30 and you have kids of your own, we can talk about a friendship. But until then, brother, I'm your dad.
Right.
And what I say, go. It's not a discussion. You know, my kid's mom, they have these discussions about, I don't have discussions. I said stop. But I'm sorry, but what? Nothing, sir. Well, sit down then. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a negotiation. Right. These the rules, Jack. You know what I'm saying? And when the police show up, and what I'm preparing them for is when the police show up, because it's the exact same way. Yeah. And if I don't get you to understand these the rules, when you get out in the world, they gonna show you what the rules is.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I know a ton of people that's trying to be their kid's friend, and you can't be your children's friend. You just can't.
Man, that thing on Friday, I just exhausted my mental capacity.
I wrote a poem about it and spent all day on it, man. It was really hard for a poem that I'm gonna do like 4 times and never do again. And like I'm not naive enough to think that in this world people don't kill kids. From the genocides to atomic weapons to shock and awe, we understand that children die all the time at the hands of even reasonable adults.
Right.
But to purposely target small elementary school children, it's evil. I don't even throw out the word evil, because evil is about perspective. You know, one person's Hitler is somebody else's Führer. You understand what I'm saying? So evil's about perspective, and about what enemies are, but why kids? Like, I remember in my neighborhood there was a guy who lost it, snapped out, and was going around the neighborhood stabbing people. grown up, but he would walk past the kids. Like he had lost his mind. Dude used to come outside with no shirt on and stand on the porch, like on the front steps, and pee off the porch. Like he was super crazy.
Sure.
And he lost it and went around stabbing folks, and he didn't stab no kids. He just would walk past the kids to a grown up, and go to the next grown up. So when you lose it and you go kill kids, it just doesn't. It's not in my realm of thought. Like I would never.
And
I couldn't imagine.
I can't even think about it. You know what I mean? Like
it's horrific. Yeah.
Right.
I ran out of adjectives.
Well, and that's why I feel like gun control is the wrong conversation to be having. Why aren't we talking about what is making people want to do this, and why are they all coming from that same type of environment? What is going on in that environment?
Culture of fear, Nick. It's a culture of fear that we live in, man. That's it.
I'm being rhetorical.
We
but
talking about the guns. You talking about why we had the guns? I take Nick's point to be like, why are these? And excuse me for saying, but these young white males snapping
like
and deciding to do math.
Right.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, man. But
I didn't mean to generalize, but generally speaking, they are most of the time they're young white males.
No, those are the ones that get reported on the most.
That killed 20, 30 people? We don't do numbers.
Yeah,
we don't do numbers.
It's over time, though, man. Like, look, if you're talking about your criminals in your hood that you're preparing yourself to do battle with, who are they killing? You know what I mean? And it's not, maybe it's one person at a time.
They don't do 20, 30 people.
Yeah, they do it over time.
No.
You know, maybe.
3 or 4. The biggest killer I knew in my neighborhood killed maybe 5 people.
Look. See, this is the thing. You're splitting hairs now. You're talking about murder like in numbers tallies. It's still murder, man.
No, you put up numbers. You put up numbers. The Asian guy at Virginia Tech put up big boy numbers. You know what I mean? He put up.
He's not to be commended for it.
I'm not saying he
did.
What
a great killer. You know, he's supposed to do that. Murder.
They give you a Medal of Honor if they're Arabic.
You're yelling again.
Oh, sorry. They give you a Medal of Honor if they're Arabic.
What are you talking about?
If you're in the military, they give you a Medal of Honor for putting up numbers. So somebody's keeping tally of when you putting up numbers.
I have no idea what you just meant by that whole statement.
I mean to say that we count what kind
of the victims.
No, I'm saying we count bodies.
Yeah, and if the victims,
that's the way you assess.
The victims are of a certain. Okay, that's what
the killer. That's what I'm saying. Like, so he was putting up numbers.
Well, I'm not exactly pro-war either, Mario. If you listen to anything I talk about, I'm not out here going, "Let's go to war all the time."
Right,
it's great for the economy.
It is though, but yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but so are solar panels and training people to like do heat insulation and things like that, and so that buildings become energy proof. You know, things like that. That generates money, but nobody's doing that.
Nope.
No, because people like the murder.
America loves its murder. America loves its murder.
That's why I don't necessarily agree with the culture very much, and that's why I don't always, subscribe to everything that's happening all the time. I understand violence is necessary, but I tend to like my violence fake. That's why I watch a lot of pro wrestling as opposed to MMA. That's why I watch movies about shootings instead of actually going out and shooting things.
Instead of going out and shooting things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go in for that stuff, man. Just generally speaking.
I don't either. I mean, I would love to live in a world where that kind of thing, where owning a weapon wasn't necessary.
Right.
But I understand what's outside, though.
But I mean, there's a lot of people out there, man. So
I have kids, and I have to protect my children. I mean, that's my number one goal in my life is to protect my kids. Yeah. And so I am, to me, using a gun I would prefer to punch you in your face.
Yeah.
I get a certain amount of joy from punching you in your face. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, why would you want? I've never understood like why people wanted to have what I understood it, but I mean like just philosophically, it's like it's so much more rewarding to actually punch someone. I mean, anybody can shoot someone.
I got a gun because they had guns.
I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Keith, for real, the first gun I bought is not because I felt like I needed a gun.
I know.
I bought a gun because they got guns.
I got in trouble in middle school for bringing a knife because people had been threatening to mess with me. You know what I mean? And the knife got found out, and I got sent to the principal's office, and I had this long discussion about like the kids that basically in that city or that town, that small little village, it was all these wannabes, but. We know wannabes are sometimes just as dangerous as the real thing because they feel like they got more to prove. As young as they might be, that's just how it was. And so those kids will mess with you physically. And so I thought, in my mind, it's good to have something. You know what I mean? because there's more than one of them all the time,
Right.
you know, and that's just the way it is. So when a lot of these like things that happen out there, there's usually more than one of them. So when it's a lone gunman situation, man, you know, that's a whole nother conversation, because we could talk about the psychotropics, we could talk about, you know, where they get their weapons from. But it goes on and on, dude, and it's a cycle now, because there's so many that have been happening. That's the thing. There's so many that have been happening this year, one after another, after another, after another. That's why the conversation is the way it is right now about gun control. It has very little to do. I mean, we can't stop people from being crazy, but we can stop them from having large amounts of bullets in their automatic rifles, you know.
I don't know about that. I mean,
I know about that. I know about that because these guns were all purchased legally, Nick. Every single one of them and every single one of these shootings were purchased legally. These
I'm saying, if he wanted to get his hands on some guns, though, he could do it.
Well, they were available to him, Nick. That's my point.
Well, yeah, but if he wanted,
I kind of agree with both of y'all in a way. Like he's saying that if you want those weapons,
I'm talking about a change in the culture, and that's what I'm advocating for.
Right.
Man. And ultimately, you know, part of it is going to be some kind of control on those things that are meant specifically just for mass killing. That's what a gun.
and I don't mind if there is, honestly.
A gun that can be converted. That's all we're talking about. A gun that can be converted to full auto and carry 50 rounds in a clip. That's a killing machine. That is not a hunting device. That is not a recreational thing. As much fun as it might be to go blast that thing at a range, that's pretty sick, because most of those targets look like people.
No, I agree. But you know, but every gun is an assault weapon.
I guess.
So is a stick. You know, I mean, if you get right down.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying though. I'm not saying ban
So
guns or
is,
ban sticks. I'm not saying ban sticks. You know, I'm just saying we need to change the culture that makes people want to get these guns and go kill a bunch of
That's what I
kids
mean.
and
Turn
go into
in
public
your
spaces
sticks.
and do this,
Turn in
or
your
even you
clubs.
know, or even put people in
Put the
economic.
stick down, man. Okay, sorry.
It'll be like in Robin Hood. No blades, no bows. Leave your weapons here.
Just sticks.
No blades, no bows.
Man, I don't know, man. But what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? It's
I
a
don't
crazy.
know.
It's a crazy, sad world.
You shut it off and you start talking about the Packers when there's
And
20 minutes
a
left of the
fat
show.
white crackhead named Danny. How about them Packers, baby?
Yeah.
Beat them Burrs, them Burrs, them Burrs.
Man, those Bear fans got kind of quiet.
Oh yeah,
again.
again.
Ladies,
Oh.
feel free to turn off the radio now. We're going to be talking about football for the next 15.
Turn down the podcast, but no. So the big story was Brandon Marshall.
That
And I try to get sound clips, but I need to find somebody's got to like get the actual like thing that was on NFL.com and like put that on YouTube before I can get the audio. So
I'll give you a tutorial about how to download that mess, but it's out there, it's available. And I think the fun thing about what Brandon Marshall was doing was the thing that got me is he is so new to the rivalry,
right?
But to take it right to heart, like if Brian Urlacher did that, I would almost understand, because he's been on the south side of the beating so many times. I mean,
6 times in a row.
Oh
yes.
my goodness! Including that playoff loss. That must have really hurt.
NFC
The
championship
loss.
game.
Kid's got the shirt on.
I got the shirt on for that one. That was like, ooh, we beat the Bears in that playoffs. We beat them in the NFC championship.
in their building.
We got the Hallis Trophy for beating them.
We got the Hallis Trophy in Chicago.
In Chicago.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Chicago. Yeah.
And that only happened once ever.
Ever.
And we did it.
That's like going to the bar, having somebody leave with your girl, come home and find him in bed with her.
It's like
That's what we did to the Bears.
Yeah, pretty much. And now it's kind of like we did
It's
it all
like
over
taking
again.
a girl to the prom and her leaving with another dude.
And then finding them in the back of your limo.
In the back of your limo. That's what it is.
Oh, priceless. Yes. Buck naked.
Yeah. But, the hype, the scuttlebutt all week leading up to the thing was that Bears Talk Radio, they didn't look too favorably upon the game anyway. They thought they were going to lose.
Right.
And that's kind of sad when your fans are like, we're probably going to lose this one.
They were booing them on the field.
Oh, yeah, they booed him going out to halftime.
Yeah, you don't do that to your own team, man.
The Bears know the Bears suck.
Yeah. Bears fans know that the Bears suck. That's terrible. Oh, man. Brandon Marshall crying though.
Yeah, that
priceless. Priceless.
Amazing. Amazing.
What would Vince
14
Lombardi?
times before I even posted it online. 14 times I watched the video. Go ahead. Before I even posted it online.
Wow, that's just good.
If Boyd Dowler or Max McGee or Ron Kramer, any of those guys that given a press conference where they started crying, what would Vince Lombardi have done?
Over a loss.
Over a loss to the Bears. What would Vince Lombardi have done if one of his guys cried after a loss to the Bears?
Dude, I
What
mean,
would Mike Holmgren have done? Like,
what would Mike McCarthy do if Greg Jennings, who put the team on his back? I love that clip. But I mean, I honestly cannot picture any of our receiving core doing that.
It was the best interview since playoffs.
It was.
Playoffs.
It was. Playoffs.
This affected me.
This affected me.
Way too deep.
I'm gonna cry in my car now.
He gonna cry in the car.
I don't have anything else to say.
Blimey.
And it was the handshake he gave to Cutler before he went up on stage.
Like, why do they carry this? I would have stopped shaking Cutler's hand 2 years ago. That's shaking the hand that threw how many interceptions? Shaking the hand that fumbled how many times? Maybe you should stop touching his hand. Let it heal up. Obviously, it's broken. It can't not.
Are those the sniffles, sir? Do you have the sniffles? It's affecting me. It's affecting me deeply. That grown man has the sniffles. I don't believe this is happening.
More so than my book of poetry, that interview he gave was
submerged in deep feeling.
You're damn right.
Even Tammy knows. Brandon.
Man, that was just so good.
Oh, and it was all the smack talk. He was talking only 24 hours before this, sir. You were giving us the business.
Yeah. And, and I'll give him this, man. When he stiff-armed Casey Hayward's head into the turf, I was like, ooh. That was rough stuff on that first drive. And I'm like, that guy might be the real deal. And I was almost willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. But when our defense decided, and they just made the decision to shut them down. And I believe it probably had a lot.
My name is Tramon Williams, and you think it's the scheme. No, it's me, sir.
The stuff that they were doing on defense was amazing. And Clay Matthews, man.
They put him, but no,
that just shows how valuable he is.
He came back and just turned the game inside
because they got to give all the extra attention to him, and that frees everybody else up to do.
And even despite that extra attention, he got 2 sacks and 3 tackles for loss.
Well, this thing, like, even if Clay Matthews isn't putting up big numbers, he's still that. It's because they have to focus so much on him.
And because he's that guy, that allows Sam Shields and Tramon Williams.
Only one of those push-offs didn't happen. The other 2 were blatant. Yeah. He was full arm extension when he pushed off. The first one I thought might have been a little questionable.
Are you talking about the dude?
No, not the face mask one.
No, the second one in this.
Are you talking about the Bears guy? The receiver?
17. What is it? That rookie.
Not Brandon Marshall.
Yeah.
The other.
Not Brandon. We'll call him not Brandon.
Not Brandon.
I don't know his name.
Right, not Brandon.
Yeah.
He got full arm extension, and they're gonna call that every time.
Well, and especially when you already got called.
After the face mask. The face mask was what made them start watching.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. When you get like a penalty like that, those repeat penalties like that, the refs are gonna be looking at you for doing that the whole rest of the game.
Right.
So even if he did, even if some are ticky tacky, and one of them, at least one of them was. I think another one might have been. But you're still gonna get that call every time because they're already looking for that, and he has to. That's a rookie mistake. He has to understand that, and hopefully someone on the Bears sideline was able to tell him that. I doubt it, because that's why they're in this mess to begin with.
Because Brandon was in the back crying.
Yeah. He had his sniffles leading up to that.
It's cold out here.
Oh, and we practically, our beloved coach was reading that Applebee's menu that he's got in his hand every game, and dialed up that horrible special teams call.
Yeah, what was that all
Nearly
about?
gift wrapped the game for them, and they still couldn't get it in.
Mike McCarthy should not be allowed to make any special teams decisions ever. Ted Thompson needs to come in and be like, no, I'm taking this over.
Once in a while, he does it really great, but that was just. And I watched the Mike McCarthy show last night, and even he was like, if I could go back in time, I would not do that. He felt so bad about it.
2 words: Mason
Oh, wow. Well, you know,
bad kicker.
bad kicker.
Bad kicker. Rub your nose in it.
I mean, it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
How many kicks you got to miss? What I'm saying is, I don't want to be the dude on the bench. Like, come on, man. What does he have to do? Like,
honestly,
I want a shot, man. Come on, coach. Put me in, coach.
Yeah.
Who did he sleep with his daughter or something?
When you're going for it on fourth down because you don't even have confidence in him, why are you keeping him around?
I don't have no
That's
idea.
the thing. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't understand that at all.
There must be something. He must have taken some kind of ribbing that they owe him something for at some point.
He has pictures of McCarthy's balls or something. It's like, what
That's what I'm saying. Whose wife does he have naked pictures of? I mean, he still has his job.
I mean, we gotta
killed
find
somebody for McCarthy.
Whose daughter does he have naked pictures of?
We gotta ask Kovac. He's
Who does he have in a gay pose? I mean,
something. He's got something on somebody somewhere, and I don't know.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course.
Ted Thompson
has murdered a hooker somewhere.
Right. At the Packer City Motel.
He had
and Mason Crosby was there.
He used to have dark hair before Mason Crosby showed up.
He tried kicking in the door, but he missed. I'm just saying. I'm from the area. I will work for half of the money Mason Crosby is, and I will miss every field goal that he's missing, plus some more.
Yeah.
That is the requirement. I mean, you can't. He's missed a kick in like every game. Like,
Yeah.
are you serious? Why are you not sitting down?
Yeah, he's got to.
And some of them have been difficult, you know. But
51
he's missed,
yards.
but he's missing the ones that he normally makes, and that's the problem.
All right.
But everybody has a bad season, not kickers.
No, not
when kickers have bad seasons, they get cut. I mean, the Bears brought in Orlando Mare. You know, he hasn't been.
He was
around.
out there. He was available. We could have gotten him. And
Right.
look at how good he actually is.
We get Ryan Longwell back.
Right.
He's out there too, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, Ryan Longwell.
Ryan Longwell.
He's out there playing golf somewhere right
Right.
now.
Mm-hmm.
We could get that guy.
They had 45-year-old kickers because they could kick the ball. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, look at Gary Anderson, Morton Anderson, you know, Jan Stenrud, all these guys have stayed in the league for 20+ years. You know,
Sure. You bring Ryan Longwell back.
Your job is just to kick the ball, sir. You don't.
There's got to be like a Facebook petition for bring Ryan Longwell back. You know, at this
I don't
point.
care who they bring back. Mason Crosby need to be working at Target or Walmart somewhere. Don't put up boxes. I don't care what he do.
I don't know.
He could be on River West Radio for all I care, but he don't need to be the kicker for the Green Bay.
he could be Nick Kovac's co-host, his sidekick.
I think Nick Kovac would punch him.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get him too close to our alderman. I'd like our alderman to keep his job.
Indeed.
Yeah. I'm sure he's not happy or thrilled with his performance at this point.
It might be a school shooting if Mason Crosby show up here.
Whoa.
I don't know about that. Too soon.
At least an old school beating.
I think I've already said enough terrible things on this show.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I guess we if we lost any listeners for that, they would have been gone about half an hour ago.
let's talk about something good that came out of that game. You know,
Jay Cutler's tantrum.
There's a lot. His tantrums on the sidelines are epic and funny, and he's blaming everyone but himself for some of the things that he's doing. Throwing that interception to Casey Hayward, who was standing still. He threw it right at him.
Go that way, man, but you ain't go. And I thought you were gonna.
He was standing right there.
You know, and as soon as I saw that, I knew it was the Packers game to lose.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't understand, you know, why did the Bears hire Mike Tice? Why did they hire the guy who lost his last job because he couldn't control his petulant diva quarterback?
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Holy snap.
I'll
Bad
say
judgment.
this. The Tribune gave Jay Cutler the business. Chicago Tribune said the reason why that Jay Cutler and the Bears can't beat the Green Bay Packers because Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are just a better team.
Yeah.
And I said, wow. When your press corps goes, you guys suck.
Well, that's the thing. They're a better team. The Bears have probably as much talent. I don't know. I mean, Jay Cutler's not quite as good as Aaron Rodgers, but their defense is pretty good. They have some talented receivers.
Julius Peppers was eating them up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They have a good defense. You know, Brandon Marshall has talent, but they're not a team.
Yeah. That rollout, and this was the great thing that they did on the McCarthy show because Aaron Rodgers there. That rollout where he completed that pass to Cobb, who made that circus catch just before he stepped out of bounds. Just beautiful stuff. My man, my new favorite offensive lineman, Barclay.
Yes.
He's getting beat, but he doesn't hold. Like, how smart is that, you know? And the guy is so good. So it's like even when he gets beat, he doesn't like screw up right now. He's just playing really at a high level. And I would like to see. I'm sorry, I don't know what Newhouse is doing over there, man, but he's got to get better. They got to like station somebody behind him to help him.
So is he the weak link?
I watched the game. And
that's what we were discussing Monday. Yeah,
it's
Newhouse.
Probably Newhouse. I was watching that line. And I knew that from watching, because I watched Barclays play the whole time against the Lions.
Right.
And it was not him. He was playing stellar. I watched the other side because I noticed that it's coming from the tackles. I know that. I know that much. And it was Newhouse. Newhouse is missing people that are coming at him. And also there are folks that are, when they run blitzes, something goes on there. They're not quite picking up some of these blitzes. They're getting fooled more often than they should. You know, and I don't want to say that that's on Rodgers necessarily because he's usually one that's got to pick out the middle linebacker. But whoever is back there blocking for him, be it Ryan Grant, be it John Kuhn, they're just getting duked. You know, it's like something's going on that way.
I think our lack of a running game means that Aaron Rodgers has to scramble at least once or twice a game just to make the DBs have to stay home a little bit, but because they don't have to any other time. But I think we've come to the end of the festivities.
We've agreed on two things, I believe.
People suck.
We should ban Mason Crosby and assault weapons.
No sniffles in the post-game interviews.
All right. Play the jingle that we always talk about, and then we'll bow out. Have a good week, everybody.
See ya!